Okay, so today we're going to be talking about another narrative technique, characterization and point of view. So, by the end of this lesson, you should be able to go back and revise your narrative to add details to your writing that can help bring your characters to life. So, let's begin with some practice and using figurative devices, especially personification. This is a great way to add detail and to emphasize a theme or even just to make it more interesting for your reader. What I'd like for you guys to do now is to list on this slide in your writing narratives notebook, list two inanimate objects. Inanimate means that these are objects that do not move, are not alive. For example, a stone, a car, a chair. I would like you to pick different ones though. Please don't use the ones that I used in the example. Go ahead and list two now. Great. Now that you have two inanimate objects, I want you to write two emotions. Please avoid simple emotions like happy, sad. Try to be more specific, like frustrated or prideful. Go ahead and list two emotions now. Great. Now that you have two inanimate objects and two emotions, I want you to take your first object and your first emotion, and I want you to write a paragraph about it describing its thoughts, features, emotions, etc. This paragraph should be written in the third person point of view. It should be giving your inanimate objects human characteristics. I also want you to make the emotion very clear, but I never want you to write what the emotion actually is. So don't ever use the emotion word that you have. Let the emotion shine through by describing the thoughts, the features, the actions of the inanimate object. Let's take a look at an example. Let's say that I have my object, a stone, and I have my emotion, bitterness. I can go ahead and write my paragraph explaining how the stone is emoting bitterness without actually using the word bitter or bitterness. Stone was a sour old thing. All day he sat brooding, his gray body giving off a dull, depressing aura. Never would you see his face, as it was always turned towards the ground in lamentation. He spoke to nobody, yet always resented the fact that he had no friends. Stone spent all day alone and was so dull that many people often walked past him without even realizing that he existed. Notice how I use the third point of view, the third person point of view. I never said I, me, my, you. I either wrote stone or he. I also gave this stone human characteristics. I said something like he was giving off a dull aura, or that he had a face, or that he was turned in lamentation. I also wrote that he resented something and that he had no friends. These were all human characteristics. Notice how I never once said the word bitter or bitterness, but it does come across in the words that I use in the tone. So words like depressing, dull, lamentation, resented. These are all negatively connotated words that give off this emotion without ever having to say it. Now, in the space below in your writing notebook, I want you to take your object and your emotion and write a paragraph now. Your paragraph should probably be about 5 to 7 sentences. Do this now. Great. All right, now let's go on to another exercise. Yes, absolutely. Personification is something that you can include in your narratives to help enhance your theme, to help enhance your characters, to help even enhance the overall fluency, readability, likability of your writing piece. But it's not the only figurative device that you can use. You could also use similes or metaphors or even imagery. But we're going to move on now to characterization. Your characters are central, they are critical to your story. And so, because of that, they should be really well developed. So, let's talk about how we can develop our characters better. I want you to choose one of the pictures above. Choose the one that appeals to you the most, the one that you find you're gravitated towards. And then I want you to base your answers to the questions on the next slide on the photograph that you chose. So go ahead and in your mind, pick out one that you gravitate towards and keep that one. Save it in your mind. Okay, great. Now that you have your photo in mind, I want you to come up with a storyline. I want you to develop that character by answering these questions based on your picture. What is the person or persons, if there's more than one, name? Make it up. Develop it yourself. What emotion are they feeling in the image? When was this image taken? What's their greatest fear? Are they satisfied with their life? Why or why not? What secrets do they carry with them? These are just your thoughts. It doesn't have to be formal ACE responses. Just jot down some thoughts. You could even use bullet points if you wanted, but this will help develop your character. You can actually do the same exact thing with your own characters. Take your character that you have, your main character in your own narrative, and answer these questions. Having this background, even if you don't include it in your story, you having that background on your character will shine through. Great authors like J.K. Rowling, who wrote Harry Potter, have background stories for every single one of their characters, and it does make their stories more compelling. Even if we don't know all of that information as the reader, the fact that you, the author, knows it, it comes across in how you portray your characters. So at least do this for your own main character. Have an idea of who they are, what they're going through, what they feel. And in that moment, the moment that you're writing about, that's the image of them. What is their greatest fear then? When did this happen? What secrets do they carry with them? Even if you don't use it in your own narrative, it's a great idea to have this background. It does help develop your character. Now that you have thought about that image and what that character is going through, I want you to write a one paragraph, that's 7 to 10 sentences, about the moment captured in the image. You don't need to introduce your character. You just need to write a paragraph as if you're in the middle of the story, as if you're giving us the complications, the conflict that they're going through. That's all I really need to know. Use that information that you've written on slide 25, this slide here, to help drive your story about whatever image you chose here. What are they going through? What's the conflict that they're facing right now? How are they going to figure this out? You don't have to resolve the story, just write it as if it's the middle of the story. Go ahead and do that now. Great. Now that you have written and practiced using personification and characterization, I'd like you to go back to your own narrative. And I want you to add details to your own writing that will help bring your characters to life. Add in some figurative devices. If you can't use personification because it just doesn't fit in with your narrative, try adding in a simile or even a metaphor or even imagery where you invoke the use of one of the five senses of your reader. Then add some more detail to your characters. Give them some more emotion. Add some depth to them. This will help your writing be more fluent. This will help your writing be more engaging to your reader. Good luck.